Are you a small business owner that took out a PPP loan? Then I've got great news for you today. Hey everyone, it's Sal from Essentage, Tucson's premier accounting firm. So it turns out last night, the Senate passed into law the PPP Flexibility Act. So that's great news for all of you small business owners that took out a PPP loan and are looking to get that loan forgiven. So here's what they did. They went ahead and extended from an 8-week measurement period to a 24-week measurement period. Now, here's the only thing about that. They're actually allowing folks to elect whether or not they want to go with the 24-week period or just stay with the 8-week period. So I would definitely work with your lender and find out when you can apply for forgiveness, and make sure to go ahead and elect, if you so choose, the 24-week forgiveness period. Here's what you don't want to do. You don't want to leave it up to your lender to decide, which measurement period, because they most likely will choose the 8-week period, whereby you want or potentially need to use the 24-week period to go ahead and spend all of those PPP funds in accordance with the rules that are set out for those funds. So the other good news is that if you recall, under the original PPP loan program, the monies had to be spent on payroll, and at least 75% of the monies had to be spent on payroll in order to be eligible for forgiveness. So under this new Flexibility Act, they brought that percentage down to 60%. So that's great news, in that if you spend at least 60% of the funds on payroll, those funds will be eligible for forgiveness. Then the remaining 40% can be spent on things like rent, mortgage interest, and utilities. So now that they've kind of given us a little bit of latitude, a little bit of room or flexibility, you can definitely make sure to spend all of those funds within those parameters. And you can also elect to have that 24-week measurement period. So definitely, I think that's going to help a lot of you business owners out there. If by chance there's any portion of your PPP loan that is not forgiven, the other part of the Flexibility Act is that they're allowing you to pay that loan over a period of 5 years instead of 2 years. So initially, when the PPP loan was enacted under the CARES Act, it was a 2-year repayment time period for any funds or loan funds that were not forgiven. Now they've moved that up to 5 years. So basically what this means now is that they're going to issue new rules to go along with the Flexibility Act. So essentially, the lender is going to be provided guidelines and rules in order to provide to those that borrowed money in order to apply those rules under the forgiveness application. And by the way, there's also going to be a new application that is potentially going to come out to really address these new rules and also all of the new parameters. So I would highly recommend that you work with your CPA, your accountant, or your tax accountant to really vet through this forgiveness application and any calculations that are required in order to achieve the maximum forgiveness for your loan. I mean, I'd like to see all of those small business owners get the entire loan forgiven, but it's really going to take working with a professional such as a CPA or an accountant or a tax professional to really nail down all of the calculations that are required under the forgiveness application. And then that way you can maximize forgiveness with your lender. So as always, if you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. Also, make sure to like this video if you found this information helpful for you as a small business owner. And as always, make sure to subscribe. Hope everyone's staying safe and healthy.